So Donald Trump's cabinet picks are continuing to cause hysteria on the left. 2 weeks after the most decisive Republican mandate since 1984, Democrats and the media are doubling down on the insanity of the last 4 years. And that is a very good barometer of how effective the appointment might be. The more they whine, the better that pick probably is. Last week, we looked at Matt Gaetz and Pete Hegseth. Today, it's Tulsi Gabbard. Nominated to be our next director of national intelligence, a former 4-term Democratic congresswoman from Hawaii, and the left absolutely can't stand it.
Tulsi Gabbard, the best you can say about her is she's a Putin cheerleader.
We have all watched her toe the line of some brutal, despotic regimes defending Moscow's invasion of Ukraine.
Tulsi Gabbard has taken actions and made statements over the past several years that really raise serious questions about her common sense, her judgment, as well as her political sympathies. Cozying up to Putin.
Tulsi Gabbard potentially having access to national security information, and Russia loves it, loves her.
And I actually think almost more than Matt Gaetz, Tulsi Gabbard's appointment is devastating.
Tulsi Gabbard is someone who has met with war criminals. She's considered to be essentially, by most assessments, a Russian asset.
This is why Kamala lost, by the way, and Democrats are doubling down. Tulsi Gabbard served as a lieutenant colonel in the National Guard for more than 20 years. She spent a year in Iraq, and that narrative that she's somehow a Russian asset is complete nonsense. If the left doesn't like you, now you must be a Russian asset. She's not. But Tulsi was a Democrat, and in political terms, Tulsi Gabbard was at one point the ideal candidate for the highest office in the land. In 2012, Barack Obama immediately endorsed her for Congress. Nancy Pelosi liked her so much that she invited her to speak at the opening night of the Democratic National Convention. But today, Tulsi is a Russian asset. And that's why so many Democrats claim to not like her. She used to be a rising star in the Democratic Party, but instead, today, Donald Trump is nominating a woman for DNI who was once the vice chair of the DNC, and the left understandably cannot stand that. Tulsi Gabbard has done the one thing that you're never supposed to do. She's committed the one unforgivable sin in politics in Washington, which is to never question the foreign policy mandates of permanent Washington. That is a huge no-no. But America needs major disruptors now more than ever. America needs people who are going to go in and make all the failed bureaucrats uncomfortable. Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence terrifies the military-industrial complex and establishment politicians on both sides of the aisle, because Tulsi will work to keep America out of pointless foreign wars. And if you needed more proof of that, warmonger John Bolton claiming Tulsi somehow is incompetent.
Well, I think that Tulsi Gabbard's nomination to be Director of National Intelligence, when I first heard that today, my immediate reaction was hilarious.
Why?
She's totally not competent for that job. Gaetz is the worst. She may be tracking in at the second worst. Haven't had a lot of time to do research on the Tulsi Gabbard nomination.
Whoop, you catch that last part there? Haven't had a lot of time to do research on the Tulsi Gabbard nomination. Remarkably, somehow, though, John Bolton can admit out loud on television that he hasn't done any research, but somehow she's totally not competent to be Director of National Intelligence. What an endorsement right there from John Bolton. Here's more John Bolton on CNN.
Her own fellow members of Congress have set him out to repeating Russian propaganda. She's not capable of doing it. Her judgment is non-existent, and the idea that somehow she would be put in charge of this critical function should be giving our adversaries in Moscow and Beijing a lot of relief.
All right, it gets better. Disgraced, crying Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger says that Tulsi loves Russia. We've heard that before, but this is a new one. Now she's also a member of a cult.
Tulsi Gabbard for DNI. Tulsi loves Russia. She loves Assad. Assad is a butcher. And she was a member of a cult, too, by the way.
You can't take these people seriously. When John Bolton and Adam Kinzinger disapprove, guess what? You're probably doing something right. You're probably on the right track. But maybe this is why they all really hate Tulsi Gabbard.
They are throwing everything that they can at us to undermine our democracy because they are terrified of what a free people in a free society will do to uproot them from their power and bring our interests to the forefront once again of freedom, peace, and prosperity.
If you want to know what the Democratic Party actually believes, don't listen to people who say, oh, we want to empower women of color who are also veterans. That's what we want to do. Clearly, no, they don't. And all of this is being exposed right now. And if you disagree or you ask questions, they will call you a traitor. They will say you're a Russian asset, and they will say that you're part of a cult. This is all part of a playbook that Democrats have used with success for generations until now, until Donald Trump. The bottom line is Tulsi Gabbard has been a soldier for over 21 years, yet the left claims that she is not qualified for the job. She joined the Hawaii Army National Guard in 2003. She served in Iraq and was awarded multiple medals, by my count, at least 6. She retired from the Hawaii National Guard as a major, then joined the Army Reserve, where she was promoted to lieutenant colonel. Seems pretty darn qualified to me. She's also likable and telegenic. Yes, it's okay. We can say that. She also ran for president in 2020, and although she didn't make it all the way to the White House, she ended Kamala Harris' chances at the nomination in a single exchange during a debate back in 2020. Take a look.
Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Okay, Kamala was forced to get out of the race after that. By the way, isn't it interesting how we've forgotten about Kamala? I like this. It's been 2 weeks and I already forgot about Kamala. If Tulsi Gabbard brings that same expertise and intelligence to the job, she's going to do very well. The Republican Party has become the party of peace. Look at Joe Biden and what he did yesterday. And Donald Trump has become the Andrew Jackson of our time, reluctant to spend your money and send your children to a foreign war. And by nominating Tulsi Gabbard to be Director of National Intelligence, this will become a reality for America. Peace through strength. And what I always have said, peace through Trump.